All right, today we're going to talk about the benefits of free writing and how it's done. Our learning goals for today's lesson is learn about free writing and how vital it is to the writing process, apply the technique of free writing after brainstorming, which we've already done, and clustering, which I'll talk to you guys about that, and write about a chosen topic for an uninterrupted session. So to begin with, why is writing so hard? Why do we struggle so much with it? First of all, there's a lot of rules and restrictions to writing. What kind of rules do we think about when we write? What kind of things do you have to think about when you write? Think about that essay for school, that writing project. What are some things that your teacher has told you to think about or that you know to think about?
Punctuation.
Punctuation, exactly. Punctuation is huge. Anything else?
Structure.
Structure. That's a good word. What about topic sentences, paragraphs, staying on topic, all of these things. And we're thinking about all of this stuff at the same time. So rules and restrictions, that's one thing that makes writing very difficult. When to write? When do we have time to write? We have so many things, multiple subjects, lots of activities, hobbies, family, work, school. So writing takes time. So finding that time, it can be very difficult. The next thing, and that should be C, not B, exploring ideas about yourself can be very hard. Sometimes we have a lack of confidence when we're sitting down and thinking about what we think about a subject. We often look at what others think, but we don't take what we think as important. So our lack of confidence, and I just want to read you guys a brief excerpt in The Right to Write. And it says, in our current cultures, something much less healthy is afoot. Writing is not forbidden, it is discouraged. Hallmark does it for us. When we shop for a card that is the closest to what we wish to say. Schools drill us about how to say what we want to, and how to involves things like proper spelling, topic sentences, the avoidance of detours, so that logic becomes the field marshal and emotion is kept at bay. So writing, as we are taught to do it, becomes an anti-human activity. We are forever editing, leaving out the details that might not be pertinent. We are trained to self-doubt, to self-scrutiny in the place of self-expression. So as a result, most of us try to write too carefully. We try to do it right. We try to sound smart. We try, period. Writing goes much better when we don't work at it so much, when we give ourselves permission to just hang out on the page. For me, writing is like a good pair of pajamas and comfortable. In our culture, writing is more often costumed up like a military outfit. So that, I think everybody can see, is one reason that writing is so hard for us. We try so hard, and we're so structured. So let's talk about the difference between free writing and brainstorming. Free writing is a kind of brainstorming. We've done our brainstorming. You guys remember when we went in and we brainstormed all the subjects that we were talking about, potential subjects for our essay. So we've already done this. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is cluster, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So free writing is kind of like brainstorming. Brainstorming makes abstract lists. There's no real structure, but free writing is more structure because we have a purpose and intention. We know what we want to write about, and we write. It's more flowing than brainstorming. So why should we free write? Writing without interruption leads to your real subconscious. What is hidden? What have you forgotten? The moment you start writing in an uninterrupted session, you're going to remember things that you haven't thought about in years. And you're going to learn to express yourselves in ways you were not able to express yourself before. So with free writing, there's no rules, no teacher coming along and saying, hold on a second, that sentence is not long enough, or you misspelled this, or we need to stay on topic. There's no restrictions. It's just you and your thoughts. You just write. That's all you do. Okay? So, free writing can lead to discovery. We're really rambling, but it's good because it can lead to something widely and deeply interesting. The best writers ramble when they first start. There's no criticism, so ideas are just flowing with energy. You don't feel that pressure of someone right next to you or right on top of you. So it helps the new writer begin, or it helps a stale subject to be new and fresh. Some of the subjects that we're going to be talking about, abortion and racism, they've been talked about and talked about and talked about, but you've never talked about them. So it's a subject that will be new because you're writing about it. Your ideas matter. So the next thing that we want to make sure we do is to help set up our writing space. Transition into the writer. We have so many roles in life. So we're going to surround us with things that make us happy. So I wanted to show you guys my son who's in New York. I told you guys he's in college. This is his little snowman guy, and this is what he puts on his writing desk. And he told me before he left, this guy is going to help me finish my book. So he kind of stares at him, but this motivates him. You can have different things in your writing. Maybe it's just a special notebook that you keep. Maybe it's a set of pens or a certain way you put everything. But definitely set up your writing space. Make it a happy place for you so that you can be prepared to write your best. So how do we free write? Here's where we get down to our activity. We're going to take one idea from our brainstorming and we're going to cluster that idea. So this is a word association. We're going to take the one word, whatever we're writing about. I know we have someone that's writing about PTSD. So if you're writing about PTSD, I want you to put that word down and you think of all the words that attach to it. We're also writing about racism. We have a couple of people doing that. So we're going to look at that word and think of all the words that could possibly associate with this word. So we do that for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to use our clustered word in our word list, and we're going to start writing. We're going to write uninterrupted for 20 minutes in a comfortable place, independently. I don't want you to use anybody else or be around anybody else, and then you're just going to let your ideas flow. So that's our activity. And the first time you do this, it's not going to be easy. You're going to think 20 minutes, this is such a long time. But I think it's going to go, it's going to be the first time you're going to do it, you're going to do it again, and you're going to do it again, and you're going to find that free writing is that vital part of the writing process. We have to do it. We can't just start writing an essay. We have to do free writing so we can get our best ideas. Okay? All right. Then that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to start our free writing process. So if you'll get out your journal and your pencils, whatever you think you need to get this started, we'll get going on that.